Hi, this is Rainbow Harmony, here to help you find balance and peace to live a more colorful life, and welcome back to my channel. In today's Pick a Card reading, we're going to be talking all about this lunar eclipse in Gemini that we have on June 10th at 10:40 a.m. or around 10:40 a.m. GMT. So, first, before you pull your card and get your own personalized take on this reading, I'm just going to talk a little bit about this eclipse. For those of you guys who watched my last video on the eclipse, the lunar eclipse that we had, this eclipse that we have in a solar eclipse kind of ties up this chaotic, energetic season. So first, what I want to say is that we do have a lot of other retrogrades going on right now. We have Saturn retrograde, we have Pluto retrograde, we have Mercury retrograde, and so if you guys have been feeling this energy really intense the past couple days, that might be because Mercury is especially at its peak right now. So it's been causing all sorts of mayhem, and these eclipses have not really been very positive and uplifting in nature. I mean, they're going to have a really beautiful long-term effect in our lives, but going through this can just feel a little intense or a little confusing. So let me break it down for you guys, okay? So first of all, this eclipse, this particular one, this lunar eclipse in Gemini that we're gonna have in a couple days here, she's a drama queen, okay? She is here to flush out your life of any toxic energies, and to overall just rinse you of the chaos that was this past year. All of these world events, do I even need to reference what happened? Lots of energies. I mean, our lives have changed, you guys. I believe it's for the better. I still believe we can alchemize this situation and use it for our greatest good. But there's a lot of mourning, a lot of loss that goes on with the things that we've lost, the traumas we've had during this time. And these past couple of weeks have kind of been a time for us to face that, to understand that, to enter into some healing for that. And then usually, as is the case when it comes to trauma, when you're healing from one trauma or one situation, anything that is linked to that or tied to that will come up. For me personally, as I've coped with feeling as if some of my freedoms have almost been taken away the past year, it's also had me face other times in my life where my sense of freedom has been impeded upon. And so does it kind of make sense how maybe this trauma, what's happened this past year, and then just these energies in general can also bring up things from your past. And this is especially the case when it comes to adding a Mercury retrograde, because there's always these jokes about like your exes reaching out and crawling out of their dark hole, right? To text you, hey. And then there's just this added layer of maybe memories and huge past clearing right now. So we're definitely dealing with a lot of that. I've been feeling this energy lately that we're all ready for a new season. And I really feel like this particular eclipse kind of closes one chapter and opens a new one. So there is a big refreshing that's happening right now. There's a big releasing. I definitely feel like we're all getting lighter. So this is your chance. This eclipse is like your chance to reclaim and refocus your energy and step into your power. So this eclipse is a chance for you to reclaim your summer or your winter if you're on the other side of the globe. Now, something that I find kind of funny about this eclipse is that the shape of it, as the moon covers the sun, is actually going to leave what appears to be or is called a ring of fire. So unfortunately, only people who are in Canada, or maybe if you get up really early in the morning in New York, you might be able to see it. But yes, this is going to have a ring of fire effect. And I thought that was funny because you guys know how I'm always talking on the channel about how eclipses tend to light a fire underneath your butt, metaphorically, that like is supposed to push you in the direction that you really want to go or need to go. And so I just kind of see it as a metaphor, like a ring of fire. And I was joking with my husband. He was like, it's almost like you ate a bunch of spicy food. You overdid it on something and now you're having a blowout. So that is the energy in essence of this eclipse, this solar eclipse, you guys. It's not very fun. It's a little bit nasty. Like, a lot of the heaviness, the heavier energy is being, I guess, in a way, detoxed out of us, okay? So you need to examine whether your emotional self is really in alignment with the essence of your energy. Have you been getting emotionally distracted? You find yourself often emotionally distracted. That means that you're wallowing through such heavy emotional energies consistently or constantly, to the point where you're not able to ground yourself and take action or make things happen in your life. I mean, I know some of you guys, I'm talking to you Cancers. I'm also talking to sometimes my Leos, and even sometimes Capricorns, I would say. Some of you guys can especially be more emotionally creatures, Pisces. You are experiencing the world more emotionally, and that's okay, but there comes a point where it can be so off balance that so much time has gone by and everything has just stayed up in your head and hasn't made it into your physical reality. You're meant to grow, you're meant to change, you're meant to evolve, just like the plants and the trees and the animals. None of us are immune to these cycles or to these changes. So you're being asked to grow, you're being asked to evolve, and it's a very personal thing for everybody right now. These eclipses are actually going to help some of your biggest manifestations to come through. Not immediately. It's going to be way more long term than that. What we're experiencing now is space being created for what it is we'd like to manifest. And a lot of people are consciously manifesting right now, but I think there are also, everyone else is just unconsciously manifesting. It might be like they just have a desire for change in their life in general, or perhaps you just have a desire for more freedom. It could be something very material. It could also be something like more of like a spiritual or emotional goal. I guess we're just talking about like your vision for your life, or maybe what you want. These energies are going to help you make that possible. But it is a huge clearing energy. So we also have the moon and the sun, plus Mercury. It's only off 1 degree, squaring Neptune right now, which adds a level of confusion and haziness and kind of illusion to this energy. So that's why it might be especially difficult to pull yourself out of the emotional energy right now. So you're not really being asked to do anything at this time. The struggles that you might feel could just be related to that haziness, a heavy emotional energy, but also feeling called to kind of pull yourself out of it. There is this energy with Saturn that's trying to help us like ground some of our ideas and some of our intentions, like I was just talking about, and it can feel overwhelming because you might want to do that, you might want to make things happen, you might be getting downloads right now, but you could also be so exhausted, maybe even physically, but definitely emotionally, like too exhausted to make that happen. And so you're really just meant to stick with the short-term energies right now, like make short-term plans with friends, short-term plans. Obviously it's Mercury retrograde, so you don't want to do anything too new or too crazy right now. But the overall vibe is to live in the energy of now. So next we have Saturn retrograde in trine with the sun and the moon and Mercury. The energy behind this is not to BS your way through life. Sure, we want to follow our intuition, We want to vibe things out. Maybe some of you guys who are watching have a very go with the flow approach to life. I know I certainly do, but this heavy energy with Saturn is really trying to get you to ground your intentions, to bring them into reality, to focus on what is important to you. You are worthy and you deserve to see your desires or your goals or your intentions manifest. We don't often always manifest things exactly like we envision them, but oftentimes it ends up even better and more special and more synchronistic than you could even imagine. So with this energy, you're just being called to have faith. Things may not be what they appear to be at all right now. Certain things might feel like they've been reversed. There's a lot of emotional energies that are being grounded right now. And if you're not really feeling emotional, there could just be this sense of laziness or fogginess or confusion. Or there could be some big and bold ideas you have, but you're just like not able to get them down, or it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Just be patient with the process. Focus on your self-care right now. Connect with others. Spend time in nature. Attune yourself with nature. Ground your energy and know that this eclipse really signifies that this energy is finally coming to an end. Everything is finally coming into, it's a big moth. Transformation, change, illumination. Everything is finally coming to a resolution. This is the ring of fire or the light at the end of the tunnel. So now I would like to invite you to choose a card to get a special specific reading on this eclipse. And here is the spread that we're going to do. So you can take a screenshot of this spread if you want, and also pull yourself some cards and follow along with me. So you can choose number 1, number 2, or number 3. Once you've chosen your card, head down below to the comments or once you've chosen your card, head down below to the comments or the description where the timestamps are posted, and you can just click on your timestamp and instantly be fast forwarded to your part in the reading. And I will see you for your reading soon. For those of you guys who choose number 1, we're going to take a look at the card that you chose, which is the first part of the spread. What in your life is finding resolution through this eclipse? And we're getting the Death card reversed. I feel like this is such an appropriate card for the eclipse. Oftentimes I pull this Death card a lot when there's some type of eclipse going on. So the message that I'm seeing for you here with this card is quite literally the reverse of death. Now this Death card doesn't always mean an actual death. Sometimes it means the decaying or the releasing of some aspect of your life. So perhaps this in your life is some type of relationship that has kind of outlived its purpose. This could be some type of habit or some part of your lifestyle, or maybe a job or a living situation, something like that. And so it could be that through this eclipse you've been dealing with some of the growing pains of this area of your life starting to just fall apart. It kind of reminds me of the Tower card in the tarot, where it's some type of unexpected situation or unexpected circumstance, some type of contrast that the universe sends your way to help you release something. And in my experience, it's usually some type of blind spot, something that I wasn't aware of, something that maybe I was just like too distracted with other things that I didn't realize, oh my gosh, this over here has been causing so much drama or so much chaos in my life. So if you think of a tree, it's almost like some type of dead branch that's just ready to fall. You know, I'm out here in the jungle, and sometimes I've been hearing these loud crashes. And what it is it's a part of the tree that's basically falling off, that's kind of died, that's dead. It's just weighing down on the branches of the tree. It's not like supporting the tree. It's not receiving nutrients anymore. There's no life left in it. So it makes me wonder, is there some area of your life that you just don't want to charge anymore with energy? Is there something, some area, some situation, some person or whatever that you're just like, I don't want to give energy and support. This is draining me. This isn't helping anymore. You know, sometimes it could be like in the situation of a relationship or a job or a place that you're living or a habit. Sometimes when you first form the relationship or you first start the habit or you move into the place or you take the job, it can almost be a blessing. It can be something that's helping you forward or something that you really enjoy. And then over time, it kind of changes into something else. And so that can be what's really hard, is like recognizing that and knowing, okay, it's time for me to grow. It's time for me to evolve. And so that's exactly what this is. This is what's being resolved in your life. It's different for everybody, but it's some situation that's dying, that's been decaying. It might have been feeling like for a while like things are out of your control, but it's coming to an end. It's coming to a resolve. It's coming to a conclusion. You're not going to be here in the midst of this energy so strong for this long. So that's good to hear. Let's pull some more cards. The next question is, what needs to be grounded? So this is kind of that Saturn energy I was talking about in the intro. What wants to be grounded? Okay, so here is what wants to be grounded, okay? So this card, this is the 8 of Cups here, and it's like reversed. It's giving me this picture almost like of shattered dreams. So I feel like many of you guys who are watching might connect with that phrase, shattered dreams. Perhaps you had some dreams or maybe just a dream for your life or something you wanted to try or something you wanted to explore in your life, and perhaps you tried it and it kind of blew up in your face, or you weren't able to stay consistent with it, or life just kind of took hold and you were able to maybe get some roots in the ground with this for a while, but you weren't able to take it all the way. And you just thought, you know what, maybe I should give up on this, when what you really needed was just to rest, or maybe to reflect and then circle back and try a different approach. So this is what wants to be grounded. Instead of in your head looking at those dreams or those visions and telling yourself that old story of that got taken from me, or it's too late now, or I have all these responsibilities and I just have to be serious and get real, if that might never happen. Like, it's almost like you need to reframe your vision or your concept of what actually is possible and how you can work these visions into your life in a practical way. Something that goes along with that is this Father of Wands energy. This is like an archetype that describes somebody who's really charismatic, who's very charming. This is you. You're someone who has a way with your words. You know how to rally people for a certain cause and get people involved. You have a really beautiful creative mind and you get really great ideas and really good visions. People might look to you for answers or to maybe brainstorm with you. You might feel like as if people were coming to you and almost asking for your opinion or your approval a lot. It's because you're a really great person to bounce ideas off of, to brainstorm. You're like a good editor. You know how to like refine things. And so it's almost like they're saying you need to ground that energy for yourself. There are ideas or concepts over here that want to be edited or refined, that want to find integration into your life. And this card over here, the 3 of Wands, is telling you that you are getting a more clarified or specific view of your future or your intentions right now. A lot of possibilities, but they want to be grounded. This High Priestess energy is a very like emotional and spiritual energy. I think this is telling you, instead of talking about it, instead of conceptualizing all of this in your head, it's time to write things down. It's time to start getting out your planner or your phone or something and putting things into your schedule. You know, I would challenge you to schedule out the next month for your vision over here, one thing a day, maybe, and then maybe give yourself one day off a week, and just a little something every single day, and see, can you discipline yourself enough to stay consistent with these ideas or with this vision? You know what you need to do. That's what I see here. It's just you need to actually schedule this in and make some time for it, just to put it simply. So what is this eclipse's message to you? We're just going to go straight for the words. What is her message for you? Yes, it's a she. Okay, we got a lot here. Okay, so this is such a beautiful reminder from this eclipse energy that you are valuable and you do belong here. You have your place in this world just like everyone else, and the world would not be the same without you. Sometimes we can feel so insignificant, maybe like little ants or something, but when I've been observing the ants here, there's some really big ones here where I'm living. They're really creepy. But like every single little ant together kind of adds up to make a whole in their little colony, and they get things done. So like you in your own way, by being who you are and reflecting your energy onto this earth, you're helping all of us get things done on this planet. So you belong here, and there's this message to you to be unapologetic about who you are. I've been feeling that theme lately of just being more authentic, allowing myself to be more of who I am. Maybe that's the energy that's really been going on in this eclipse season, and there's this message to you. It's time to be unapologetic. No excuses, no apologizing for who you are anymore. This is some of the Neptune energy. They're telling you this eclipse will cause a little bit of indifference, a little bit of confusion. So you don't have to have it all figured out right now. Those messages we got for you about what needs to be grounded and all that, like, you have time to work on that. It doesn't need to happen overnight. Your guides are kind of pointing out, remember we're talking in the intro about how there's like a heavy emotional energy right now. Maybe yours is related to missing something. It could be missing, being nostalgic over a certain part of your life, maybe missing someone in particular. It could be almost like FOMO, that fear that you're going to miss out if you don't do such and such. And this could be making you feel a little restless. So there's some advice to change up your environment a little bit. This might be saying don't shut yourself inside so much. I know that's been what's going on the past year, but I'm noticing that there seem to be a little bit more freedoms. There is a change. You can get out into nature. You can find a way to switch up your environment, whether it's just going out on your porch or going to the lake, the river, the beach, the ocean, out into nature. Try a new coffee shop, something new, you know. This is saying sometimes just a little switch up in your environment is enough to push you forward a little bit or get you some inspiration. I love this last message here, Moon Teacher. I feel like this is the eclipse quite literally saying hi to you and saying, I'm your teacher. Just relax, sit back, allow these energies to flow around you. You'll know what you need to do when you need to do it. For now, just welcome it and know, once again, the motto of this eclipse season, nothing is being taken from you. Everything is being given to you. I hope that this message resonates with you. Thank you so much for coming to my channel, and I will see you next time. Peace out. For those of you guys who choose number 2, let's go ahead and get your message. The card that you pulled is part of the first part of the spread, which is what is being resolved right now in your life as part of this eclipse energy. and you're getting the Ace of Pentacles reversed. So upright, this is a card about your legacy, building a legacy in this world, and also understanding the story of your life. And so the fact that this card is reversed makes me feel like what's being resolved right now is kind of like the old story that you used to tell yourself and others about your life and about who you are. This is the old sad story. The old sad story where you say that because this and this and this happened, now I can only do this, or now I'm only good for this, or now my life can only amount to this. So this clearing that's happening over the old story of your life, or the old story you used to tell. It's not forgetting what happened or not honoring that or acknowledging that, but it's no longer holding on to that is something that's weighing you down, that's holding you back, that's setting you apart. In fact, now it's you being able to claim that or own that as something that is not hindering your growth, something that's not the reason for why you can't. And so it's this beautiful, beautiful shining energy. I also feel like this does have something to do with your career path, like something's being resolved in the area of your finances and career for many of you guys, because this is about like building a legacy here on this earth, maybe being known for something that you do, or making a name for yourself, or just getting really solid roots into the ground of being comfortable and stable and secure, financially. This might even have something to do with like the home or the living environment. So that's being resolved right now, and that's just wonderful to hear. So next, let's go ahead and look at the next part of the spread and see what needs to be grounded. This is like that Saturn energy. What needs to be grounded in your life? Lots of reversals. Okay. So the first message I'm getting, I'm going straight to this card. Your guides are saying no more pouring from a cup that is empty. Chances are these retrogrades in this eclipse season has caused you to maybe have to attend to your physical, mental, or emotional health. Maybe there was some type of injury or mental breakdown or something involved with this period. All of that is a sign that you do need to take at least one day a week and a little bit of time every day to really work on your self-care. And yes, this is physical, like scrubbing your heels, exfoliating, skincare, making sure you're brushing your hair, your teeth, that your home is picked up and clean, that all that good stuff. But it's also mental, making sure that you're getting time to just kind of rest and clear your mind, whether that's through intentional meditation or just relaxing on your porch and watching the sunset, or like you need that time every day, maybe some yoga. You need that time every day to connect with yourself and slow down no matter what's going on in your life. So there's definitely that message that like you cannot be using those times, those specific times to help others. You need to clear something out for yourself. And anybody who's latching on, who's been having low boundaries with you or codependent with you to the point where you're not able to get those times, you got to work on that. You've got to create some type of system. Sometimes it's creating a system in your life for your children and for your family so you can get that time. Sometimes it's creating those boundaries with a partner or a friend or a loved one, or even a boss or a coworker or your job. And so it might be that like you were forced to take time off, or forced to lay down, or forced to have that time, and the universe is trying to show you like, hey, isn't this nice? Even though you got here through some type of injury or painful experience, now you're here in this relax or rest or heal space, and you need this regularly, not just when it's really bad. Don't wait until it gets bad, because that's what will happen. Is if you don't give yourself that time, somehow you're going to be forced to take it, because just no one can live like that. The next message here is there is something beautiful that's being resolved. I am kind of sensing, there's been a lot of drama with your work or your career. It might have manifested through some type of exciting opportunity initially, It could be because you just got a promotion or something. It could also be because you're changing jobs or situations, or maybe you decided to start some type of side hustle or business. And it seems like there has just been a lot of chaos and stress around that. And so once again, it comes back to boundaries that are being set at this time, and then also you like managing your time well. And so like there's just a lot of changes, and I'm getting this message: you haven't done anything wrong, you've done amazing, and these are good opportunities for you. You're just like learning how to kind of rework things in order to adjust to this big change. And so that is currently being resolved. I'm getting this message to tell you it's not going to be like this forever. Like, you're going to find your way to integrate around this. The last thing that's being resolved here is kind of feeling like everything's just coming down at once, or like everything's attacking you. Do you ever feel like that? Like sometimes we get in that victim mentality in life where we feel like just the whole world is against us. And during this eclipse season and this Mercury retrograde, I myself found myself on this one day literally feeling like the universe was just against me, and I was just like, oh my gosh, Mercury retrograde, everything that could go wrong is going wrong. What did I do to deserve this, or whatever, you know? It's okay to get in that energy sometimes, and maybe you've just really been feeling that like I was the other day, and this is a beautiful message. That energy is going to be resolved. Things aren't going to be flying at you from all angles. This energy is going to change and shift and move in another direction. Like, just hang in there. And the final message for you, the final question is, what is this eclipse's message to you? What is her message to you? Because yes, it's a she. What's her message to you? Okay. So, nearby embrace artistry. That's the first message that came out. Yeah, I mean, they might be saying that there are opportunities nearby for you to grow as an artist. Maybe for you to be known as an artist. I mean, I kind of feel like some of you guys, I know there's a lot of artists who are following me here on this channel, and I feel like some of you guys are at this point where you've kind of established yourselves as artists. You've got roots in the ground. You've been doing this work for a while. You're growing, you're getting older, and there's this message that continue to embrace this path, because you might be looking at other people who've chosen a more traditional path, and you're seeing like, oh wow, their path looks a lot more stable or a lot more predictable. Did I choose wrong? Did I really do the right thing with this? And you are really just right around the corner from really getting your name out there, really establishing yourself, and really feeling thankful that you followed your heart and that you chose this path. Like, that's nearby. You have been having to walk by faith on this path for a long time. You've had to make some sacrifices. I see that too. But yeah, there's this message that you're gonna overcome, any of these obstacles that are on your path, maybe related to this. And your awakening spiritually had a lot to do with you opening up this side of yourself, because it might be part of like what you're meant to bring this planet. You guys are just telling you throughout all of this that it's going to be helpful for you to breathe. Stop and take some deep breaths. In fact, I'm going to do that right now if you want to do it with me, since I've got you here. Just take one more deep breath. Just do it with me. Feels so much better. We don't always have to try to figure things out or know exactly what's happening here. Whatever it is that's happening, it's all happening for you in the best sense possible. So you're just being called to hang in there and trust. Something big is coming. I hope that this message resonates with you. Thank you for coming to my channel, and I will see you next time. Peace out. For those of you guys who choose number 3, I've got the card that you chose here, which is the first part of the spread. And the question is, what is being resolved right now? And we're getting the Seven of Cups reversed. So, yes, you know, reversed, this tells a completely different story. What I'm seeing is all of these things are being turned upside down. This could represent your job, your career, your finances, your home life, your living environment, like some type of addiction, something like that. I don't know. And then this right here is, it's almost like the one thing that's going for you. And I think the universe is telling you, pay attention to the area of your life that's not falling apart right now. That one area that's stood this little test. That is something in your life that is really, really being blessed. And you're being called to focus on that blessing, put your energy into that area of your life right now, and let everything else just fall away. The resolution is the slate being wiped clean in pretty much all areas of your life, like I said, except for maybe one or two. And so it might be shocking that you're being asked to start over in so many areas of your life. But I think this is kind of throwing you into a little bit of a survival mode, and like, just never doubt your human will to survive. There was a time in my life, I've told this story in my channel before, because it's like one of the biggest dramas I've had in a while. Like, my partner got in a car accident, and totaled our car, and like a couple days later our bird died, and then like we lost our apartment because it's not like we lost it, we could have stayed if we wanted to, but because my partner, like, that had happened, we were just like, oh, F it, let's just leave the city and go back to the suburbs and just like try to straighten this out and figure out like, what do we want to do? Do we even really want to live here? It was just such a big trauma. So we like lost everything. And you know, the one thing for me that was taking off at that time, ironically, was this channel, was my tarot readings. Like, during that time, a little bit before it, I had really gotten into tarot. I'd been going through this healing process. I had been practicing. I'd been getting trained. And that was the only part of my life that didn't seem to be falling apart. And so I just put everything into that and kind of just let the dust settle where it may. And such a beautiful path came out of that, as you guys can see. And so sometimes it's a sign. Sometimes it's a sign when everything falls apart, all your plans kind of go to crap. You make plans and God laughs, right? But you got to pay attention when that happens, because a lot of times it's almost like the universe pointing you in a certain direction and saying, this is your path. This is where you need to go. This is where you need to find your strength. And so that's the message I'm getting for you. Don't worry, everything is going to find a natural resolution, but pay attention to that one area, that one thing that seems to be amplified at this time, okay? The next thing we're going to do is pull what needs to be grounded right now. So what in your life wants to be grounded? Remember in the intro, we talked about that Saturn energy with how there's that component of things needing to be grounded right now. Lots of reversals today. I checked, the deck isn't upside down. It's just what's coming out. Okay. So what needs to be grounded? So this is the Daughter of Pentacles. You're extremely resourceful. You have a lot of gifts, and frankly, you have a lot of different ways that you could make some money. Maybe you're being called to use some of your artistic gifts, get crafty, let the world see who you are, start that blog, get up on Etsy or Depop, create that line of jewelry, or start writing that novel, something like that. Now, you don't need to start right away. Remember, we talked about this is more of a long-term plan. But I think that's what they're saying, is what wants to be grounded is some of these ideas you've had for making money. And I think that you're really smart. You look around at other people and you're like, oh my God, you could totally start a website and sell those t-shirts that you've been upcycling from the thrift store. Why don't you do that? or wow, you're so great with speaking, you could totally start a podcast, like maybe you're going around to all of your friends or the people that you know, and you're seeing like the potential they have to turn their gifts into a source of income or abundance or a way to bless others. But when it comes to yourself, like you're a little bit more shy. I think that's what this deer is saying, like you're a little bit shy, and you've been letting that hold you back. And it's okay to be shy. Like find a way for you to express yourself or get these gifts out in the world at like a slow pace. So you're not pushing yourself into it all at once. Yes, this path is going to require you to get vulnerable, but it's going to be so worth it. The next thing that wants to be grounded, to be honest, I see a little bit of anger towards perhaps your father, daddy issues, which a lot of us got, right? Or it could be some other male figure. It could be maybe a professor you had that like effed you over and you have to take the class again or something like that. Or it could be like an ex. There's still a lot of anger connected to some type of male figure or masculine energy. It could even just be like the system as a whole. So there's this message to maybe release that, and it doesn't mean that you just have to pretend like it never happened, but maybe to do some writing or even go as far to see a licensed professional counselor or a therapist to kind of hash that out. I feel like this could be blocking your root chakra a little bit, and the root chakra has a lot to do with your sense of safety or security and even your flow of money and abundance. So they're saying, if you want to, because we're getting lots of messages about money. Maybe you want to make more money, or you want to become more financially stable, or you want to like invest in something. And so they're saying this is a way for you to ground this energy and maybe unblock it. So this would be journaling, healing exercises, therapy. Just trust yourself. This might not be a message for everybody. Maybe you're checking yourself right now and you're like, yeah, that doesn't resonate. I feel good in this area of my life. So if that's you, don't worry about it. Maybe some of you guys here have already been thinking about this, and that could be just confirmation for you. The next area of your life that wants to be grounded, once again, is money. You have built up a beautiful karmic storehouse of abundance in the 5D, and it's ready to come to you in the 3D. So you have to be the one to open up those avenues of income. And if you pay attention, you have been getting ideas via your thoughts, your dreams, your visions, maybe other things people have been saying to you. Just pay attention. This might be another tip I would give you is to journal, to write, because I think there's just a lot going on in your head right now. I think in all of our heads. And so writing down these ideas when they come to you and starting to organize them will help you see a little bit better. Okay, this has been coming up a lot. I think this is something I need to start taking action on. The final thing that wants to be grounded is, it's like a perception. You are someone who is capable of like really going hard at something and seeing fast results. You might be somebody who's like a procrastinator, where let's say like you're a teacher or something assigns you a paper and you wait until the night before to do it, but that adrenaline almost of waiting till the last minute ends up like pushing you to make the most beautiful paper ever. Maybe that's been your approach to your life, is that you kind of been chilling and laying back, but then when things get intense, you're able to like make a lot happen in a short amount of time. I think your guides are telling you, in a way, that's a gift, and you can keep doing that, but you also need to start breaking off your goals into small, achievable baby steps, because sometimes consistent effort, consistent momentum can go a lot further for you than just like something really hard and fast just over the course of a month or a couple of days. Like, it's more about integrating it and making it a part of your life. So that's a big takeaway message for you. All right, final message. What is this eclipse message to you? Okay, what is her message to you? Yes, it's a she. What's her message to you? Okay, so your message is a little bit different than what I've been getting for the other groups, and maybe even a little bit different than what I said in the intro. Because remember how we were talking about how, like, do you ever find yourself kind of lost in your feelings or lost in your emotional energy to the point where it's keeping you from moving forward? I don't think that's you. This is saying you actually need to turn to your feelings. Like, your feelings are worthwhile. Don't go through life neglecting your feelings or feeling like you need to just muscle your way through. So like I said, that's kind of opposite, because many people right now, the message is you've been bogged down in these heavy emotional energies. It's time to release them, and it's time to get grounded and be more practical and get more into your logical brain and your action-oriented divine masculine energy. But for you, I think you've been doing well in that area, and we saw how like a concern for you is like money and abundance and structure. So this is almost like telling you need to go the opposite approach of finding clarity through your emotions, through your feelings. Let your heart lead the way. The other thing is they want you to stay consistent. And yes, we've got structure in here. Stay consistent. They want to see you put a little bit more structure in your life. And then the last little thing the eclipse wants to tell you is that there is a connection coming into your life soon. For many of you, I feel like this is a romantic, like a love connection. Maybe they're telling you get your ducks in a row because with all the things that you're trying to manifest right now, because this is coming and it's going to be not like a distraction, but almost like a whole other world or a whole other dimension of being. And so it's going to be interesting. So maybe this is also something that you've been feeling on the inside. Like sometimes I get these messages from my clients and they say, I just know someone's coming in. Can you pull some cards for me? Because I have this feeling. Sometimes we can tap into that feeling of, oh, I have a feeling I'm going to meet somebody soon. So I wonder if this is confirming that for you. But yes, a connection is coming soon. If you're not looking for a love connection right now, this could be a connection with someone who's going to help you with some of your endeavors. I always say you're never alone. The universe always sends someone. So I hope that this message resonates with you. Thank you so much for coming to my channel, and I will see you next time. Peace out.